Let's take normal deep breath in and breathe out. One more joyful deep breath in and breathe out completely. Now breathe in for Omkara. The blessings of Mother Divine and Gurudev, and with the guidance of all the rishis and maharshis, let's start our studies. Chalo, all of you switch on your videos. So, what did we learn last week or last class?
We studied a chart.
Studied a chart. Oh, okay. So fast.
It was my daughter's. I
Nice.
didn't.
What else did we do?
Touched upon the importance of Navagraha Stotra and when it needs to be used to clear certain confusion.
Anybody tried? You should try it. See, all these are practical. The beauty of divine is when it works, you really don't give any attention to it that it has worked. But when it doesn't work, you always go and complain, oh, the divine has not helped me. There's the power of the divine, but at the same time, very easy to not notice. And very easy to forget that, oh, I could have applied this or I could have done this. You should do this. At the time of confusion, pray to Buddha and see the difference. Fantastic results. Anyway. So today we'll take up Bhava. So we took up Graha, we took up Rashi, did we? And then we'll take up Bhava. Bhava, did we speak about it? I think only we touched upon. We didn't go in detail, right? Yes, no, something tell me, no. Otherwise, I'll get bored and I'll sleep off.
Yeah, we just touched it. We haven't gone into details.
You should all keep me awake. Otherwise, I'll sleep off. So, first we have to understand the logic behind it. See, my approach to learning anything is first we understand the logic behind it and then start applying the logic. Logic is like the building blocks. Like, for example, you take this Lego, children played with this Lego, correct? So these are all small building blocks. Then you start building on top of each other. You can do whatever you want and then you get the different, they get different shapes. So all these are building blocks. Your Navagrahas, each graha, they are all, each is a component. If you come into if you take like it's a mathematics calculation, or these are all different permutations possible. Each one is a component. You can arrange it in any way you want. Not ideally how you want, how the divine wants, or rather how your karma dictates. But then that will give you the answer. So building blocks are very, very important. We can call it as building blocks. We understood graha to a certain extent, and then we understood Rashi. Each Rashi has its own quality. We understood that, right? Like how a person has a quality and his house has a quality. Rashi is the house, is the place. Rashi is the place. Correct? Getting my point? So, the next one, very important category. There are 4 verticals in corporate word. 4 verticals. First vertical is your graha. Second vertical is Rashi. Third vertical is bhava. Fourth one is
Varga.
Varga Chakra. We'll go to that later. Now, when we talk about bhava, it is very, very important. Our whole existence, or you take any time, it's the birth time or housewarming time, or you do an work. Now we started this class. That's an event. So everything is an event. Correct? You all agree with me? It is just an event. Good, bad, and all, you define it. But event is an event. Correct? No. Now, if it is event of a childbirth, then you are studying the life of that person, whoever has taken birth. If you are studying the event of housewarming, then you are studying how the house stay in that house would be. If you take up anything else, you buy a car, how will that be? So like this, we see what that event result would be. Correct? Now, different aspects of that event we have to understand. So our rishis decided that no, you cannot just say in one aspect, you cannot know the whole quality of that event. So again, they divided into 12 parts. There are 12 important parts of that event. So if it is a person, there are 12 aspects of life. If it is of an event, 12 aspects of that event. That is called bhava. Getting my point? And that bhava starts wherever the lagna is. Now you know what is a lagna, no? Huh? You know what is a lagna?
No.
Oh, then you should ask me. Last
What
time
is
also I
lagna?
said ascendant. I told you from there you start counting.
We discussed. Yes, we discussed. Right.
Yes, you all have forgot.
We discussed Anna, but what exactly Lagna means?
Lagna is just a reference point. Let us put it like that for now.
Oh.
Reference point from where your journey starts. Yeah, it's a nice way of explaining. Lagna is from where your journey starts. There is a circle. From where on the circumference of that circle you are going to start. Because, see, in a circle there is no start and stop. Means there is no end and starting, right?
Right.
But momentarily you can take a point, select a point and make it as a start point. And it will go one whole circle and come back to that point. So which is that reference point of your life? That is Lagna. Which is the reference point of that event? Is that Lagna. Now, how do we find out that Lagna? Whenever the event takes birth of the event happens, you look towards the east and draw a line from Surya's center, sun's center. You draw one line perpendicular to your what is it called?
Horizon.
Horizon, correct. So you draw one line from Surya, sun, one line, straight line you draw, bring it all the way in the front, perpendicular to your horizon. Wherever that line coming from Surya touches the horizon, that point is your Lagna. At that point, what Rashi is there? If you look straight to the horizon, what Rashi is present at that time is your Lagna. You got the idea?
Yes.
From there, first bhava starts. Wherever Lagna is, that is your first bhava. From there you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like for example, when I was born, if my father looked at east and draw a line from Surya when it meets the horizon, that point behind that, Rashi was Mithuna. So what does that mean? I was born in Mithuna Rashi. This is not Chandra's Rashi, where Chandra is. This is the Lagna Rashi, where your Lagna is. You got the point?
Yes.
So from Mithuna, you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So Mithuna became my first house. First bhava. In English, they call it as house. So first bhava. Second bhava is Karkataka. Third bhava is Simha. Fourth bhava is Kanya. Fifth is Tula. Sixth is Vrishchika. Seventh is Dhanu. Eighth is Makara. Ninth is Kumbha. 10th is Meena. 11th is Mesha. And 12th is Vrishabha. You got the idea?
Yes.
Like you took birth and you looked towards the east and found the meeting point of the line from sun to the horizon, and it was in Meena, let us say. Then Meena becomes first Rashi, first Bhava.
Yeah.
Got it? From there you go again. Clockwise
Yes.
one round if you go and come, it
Right.
becomes.
Finish.
You got the idea?
Yes.
Now, that is one important part, but that is not the most important part, because this will only tell you the reference point, where it starts. But now we have to understand what these 12 aspects are, 12 bhavas are. Okay? Keep yourself muted, but unmute yourself when you are speaking. You got the idea? So, the first bhava, first what we'll do, we'll write the names of the bhavas. Because the name itself will tell what it is. So here the building blocks are the names itself. It will give you an exact idea. You can translate it. You can, understand it according to the event later. But first you write down the names. First bhava is called Tanu bhava. Tanu, body. Now, the moment I say body, you feel that, oh, the physical body. It's not said as the physical body only. If you do some work, it is the whole body of the work. You have heard this phrase, body of the work? What is it about? That event, what is it about? What is the quality of that event? So, Tanu bhava. That's why everything is involved in this Tanu bhava. Because we are talking about the body of that particular event. Got it? The second one, bhava, is called Dhana. Those who are sleeping, now you woke up. Oh, that's a nice bhava. We should all look into that. Isn't it? Dhana. Dhana means here not just money. Dhana is anything that is valuable is dhana. Valuable which you can use for exchange. That is dhana. Which can be used, not necessarily that it will be used. Got it? The third one, third bhava, name is sahaja. Now, sahaja means the one which is born with, along with the event who is born, who is associated with that event as a co-born. Are you able to understand this? Whatever the event is, whatever is born along with that event or associated with the event as a co-born. Now, for example, you are born, your co-born is your brothers and sisters. That's why third house is associated with brothers and sisters also.
So co-born means born from a same place or something like that, because I'm not able to understand the
Yes,
relation.
born at the same place, same associated with the event as a, see, you may not be co-born, but not taken birth from the same mother, but you still feel like sister with somebody else.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You're associated like as if they are born with you.
Mhm.
Correct?
Yeah.
But why the name Sahaja? Na? Sahaja generally means like something which is natural.
No, not
With-
Saha Ja. Ja means born. Saha. That is the meaning. Ja in Sanskrit means born. Saha Ja. The one which is born with. That's why the meaning. I never, initially when I started studying as a Jyotishya, I never understood why Sahaja, why the name Sahaja. Then I took out the Sanskrit dictionary and started understanding what these words mean exactly. That's when it became fully clear for me how to use this. You can go on, defining this Sahaja for multiple things. If you go and Google, what is third house for? Literally, you will book a, seat in Niman's mental hospital, because there are so many types of definitions which will come, thousands of them. Every astrologer will define it in a certain way. It is interpretation. Sahaja, you are going to interpret it, right? How do you interpret it? That is the point. Are you able to understand this? So, Sahaja. Next one.
Sorry, but we say Sahaj Samadhi. So
That's a
what?
different meaning of Sahaja.
Okay.
Let's keep it like that. Do you all want to, should I put the bhava, this thing also? Let's do that. Means it's easy for you all to follow. I'll open the slides. Where is it? Let me open. Let me share this. Yeah. Is it visible? So then for third one is Sahaja. Fourth one is Bandhu. What? Bandhu. The one whom you are associated with. Very strong association with or associated with.
It could be anything,
It
place,
could be anything.
whatever.
Anything. Living, non-living things, it could be anything. So that's why don't see it only in terms of your chart. You just think as its general meaning. Then you can really, that's why fourth house generally people see for house. Because you're associated with your house a lot. With your mother, with whom you are very strongly associated with. which is close to you. Bandhu. Okay?
So house, mother, motherland.
Yeah. All that. Fifth house is Putra, the one that is born out of you. First we saw what is born with you. Now the one which is born out of you. It could be anything. There's a very strong, deep meaning to this also. Now, generally, Putra moment you see, oh, Putra means, boy, child, boy. That's not the only thing. The only thing that you are made up of is happiness, according to Vedanta. According to spiritual existence, you are nothing but happiness. Everything else is all masked. Your love, your happiness. Gurudev keeps telling this all the time. And what can take birth out of you is only happiness. Rest everything is masked, colored. So fifth house is also for happiness. It has a very deep meaning in it. Putra, the one which is born out of you. We'll see. As we go along, we'll understand more how to use this. Of course, children are also associated with it. The happiest moment for a parent is when child is born. Correct? Next. Sixth one. Ari means enemy. Anything that is anemic or the one which can create enmity, which is enemy to your existence, is Ari. So here Ari doesn't mean only enemy in physical form, man. If you take body, then enemy is disease. Are you able to understand this?
Okay, one query here. Is it the individual characteristics or he will face from the external world, the other body?
Any kind of enmity, anything which can give you enmity. Somebody else giving you enmity, somebody else want to give you trouble, he is also an enemy. So it's the other body. So your very existence, if you take as a reference point, as a person, if you take your body as a reference point, see, reference point is very important. So I take my body as a reference point, then enemy is what? Disease. But if I take myself as a person of society, anybody who is ready to give me trouble is enemy. In a group of people, somebody who is giving me trouble is enemy.
No, my question now is the frame of reference is self or self is the other body. So I'll just frame it this way. There is one negative characteristics person, he is always disputing something. Like let's say the terrorist mindset.
Yeah.
Terrorist mindset is Ari, or the person who is getting afflicted by the terrorist is Ari.
No, the one who is disturbing you is Ari. Ari means enemy.
Okay, the one who is disturbing is Ari.
That's why disease is the one you see from the sixth house, not you. Disease is not you.
This is not a third person that is afflicting you.
The third party which is afflicting you. Okay, put it like that.
For
Right.
example, student, like whatever efforts they put, someone just can't understand maths. It could be anything.
No, you cannot call it as an enemy. That is your inability to understand. Maths doesn't become an enemy just because you don't understand it. You may feel that it's an enemy to you.
Oh no, I love maths, but I'm just giving an example.
No, I'm just
how-
generally telling you, means something which you are not able to understand cannot become your enemy. That's your
Oh.
non-understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
It
My
is your
son-
it is your lack of capacity to understand that subject.
Okay, it should be taken that way, right? My son is like, oh, it's my Shatru. I'm not able to
He
understand.
thinks like it is his Shatru, but not necessarily that he is his or now lot of times what happens, there is a possibility that children say to mom, you are my enemy, you are not allowing me to eat chips. Does that make you an enemy?
No, no.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't work like
There
that.
is a difference then. I mean,
Ah,
which is really an enemy and your understanding.
that's different. What you think as enemy need not be your enemy.
Mhm.
That comes later. We see that also.
Um,
Now, for a student, laziness could be an enemy to study. Are you able to understand? For a student, his swadharma, what is swadharma? Whatever one is supposed to do. Let's put it that way. Swadharma. When I say dharma, everybody thinks of all religious stuff. No. Swadharma. The thing that I am supposed to do. Whatever that stops me from doing that is my enemy. For a student, swadharma is to study. For a mother, swadharma is to take care of the mother, that showing the motherly affection.
yeah.
When you are at work, your swadharma is what? To work for the company you are working for.
Yeah.
Anything that stops you from doing that is your enemy.
Mm.
Are you able to understand this?
Mhm.
Your neighbor who is disturbing you for your existence at home will not be enemy for you in your office.
Mm.
There's a difference between the two. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing? See, the more you divide it, you start feeling, oh, wow, life is so interesting. But what you do, you fought with your neighbor who was your enemy for your existence. Then you went to the office with the same mindset. You made somebody else also your enemy. How does that work? We carry it. So it is also again reference, point of reference. When I am in my office, my swadharma is to work. Whichever stops me from doing that is my enemy.
So basically, it could be your own mind.
Definitely, why not? If your mind is not allowing you to be you, then that becomes your enemy. That's what happens with people in depression, people with mental health related issues. What happens? Their mind is not allowing them to be in their existence. They're not allowing to do any of their dharma, any point of time. So it's a big enemy. Your body's swadharma is to help you in doing the regular karma. The one which is stopping to do that is what? Disease. So it's an enemy, Ari. One of the most beautiful understandings of enemy. Are you able to understand this? Amazing. Enemy. Next, 7th house. Yuvati. Here, this is one bhava which does not directly translate to a logical understanding. You have to indirectly understand this. There is only one bhava I'm still finding, a perfect definition or translation which is not helping here. Because Yuvati actually means is a young girl. Okay. But that does not really translate to 7th house if you take it literally. The one whom you are associated with is a 7th house. Partner. So whatever event you take, the one which is partner of yours in that event is the 7th house. Now, a very interesting point is young girls, they follow that level of, if they connect with somebody, they follow that very strongly. Maybe that is one of the reasons it was named as Yuvati. And I'm still trying to understand this fully. But seventh house very clearly has been mentioned for partnership, partner. Now, for example, if you go, I'll give a very simple example. You want to go and buy 1 liter of milk. So when you go to the shop, momentarily, the one whom you are doing business with becomes a partner. You did business with him. With whom you do the business also. But at the same time, in marriage, the one whom you are married is your partner. That's why a lot of people see seventh house for marriage. But I don't see seventh house for marriage. I see seventh house for married partner also.
Yeah, could it be connect?
Hmm?
Could it be
You can
connect?
say the one whom you are connected to.
Right. Not be through marriage, maybe through business,
Yeah, yeah.
towards loyalty, towards guru or towards friend.
Yeah, anybody, seventh, whoever is doing a partnership with you at that in that event. Now, again, don't take partnership literally. Then what happens? Oh, it means like I am business partner. One more person is working with me. Will he be? No.
Could
With
it be
whom you are doing the business, Vyavahara. The whole existence is in business. You give and you take. With whom are you giving and taking? That is the partner.
like could it be just at a surface level, or it would be like a dedicated partnership?
It can go to any level.
Okay.
From the word, it is very difficult to understand, but for now, you keep it like this partner.
And
With
it
whom?
could be a positive or negative.
Anything
Partner.
doesn't matter. That is, we are not speaking about positive or negative here. None of the houses are positive or negative here. They are just what they are. According to karma, they are just what they are. It's neither positive nor negative. Getting my point? See, I'll tell you one very interesting concept. You may say, oh, that means Ari, how can it be, positive? It can only be negative. It's a good question. Nobody asked. I said there's no positive and negative for houses. But then how can you say Ari is the sixth house is positive also? There is an event, person A has to go on a journey for an event for attending some relative's marriage or somebody. What happens just before he takes up the train, he falls sick. He takes up his journey, he falls sick and he doesn't go. Now what happened? What is the Ari here?
Disease.
Disease.
The mess.
Oh, very bad. Unfortunately, he could not take the train and reach the destination. What happens? There's a big train accident and lot of people die. Now what happened? Is Ari good or bad?
In this case, it's positive. It's good.
That's it. That's why, see, Jyotisha is not that simple. If you already have a set of definitions, you can never understand Jyotisha. You have to become open, ready to understand it in the way it comes. Then you can understand this. You got the point? Next, eighth house. Randra. Randra means very simple, one word, hole. H-O-L-E, hole. Randra means hole. That's it. Now, what is Randra in that event? You have to find out. For example, I am sitting in this room. This is a different dimension of existence. Now, if I go out of the door, it's outside, it's a different dimension. But how do you go out? You can't go through the wall. You have to go through a hole in the wall. So the doorway became my Randra from this dimension to that dimension. Correct? Your main door becomes a Randra from your house to the outside world. Are you able to understand? So Randra is a space, or it's a hole through which you can enter the other dimension, or the connection with the other dimension happens. Now, so many things are associated with this. One of the most important event that is associated with Randra is death. You are passing on from the physical realm to the subtle realm in death.
But then everybody dies.
Huh?
But everybody dies ultimately.
Everybody dies. 8th house is working for everyone. That's why.
Okay.
May not be no. Some other day. That's it. So Randra is also, but you cannot really see the cause of death with that. It's just death. It is a connection with 8th house. Or it's a connection with some other realm. We'll put it like that. That's why all these subtle body problems, bhuta, preta, pishachas, disturbing somebody, is all seen through 8th house. Randra Bhava. They come from that dimension to your dimension. You have created an opening for them. When you create an opening for them, they come. There is a thief in front of your house. You have kept the door open and took your car and went for a spin. Then you have invited the thief to come in. It's Randra. Are you able to understand this? So Randra is nothing but a different, the space to the different dimension, the hole, the doorway to a different dimension. Now what can go out also can come in. So something can come from the other side also. Unknown things will come because other dimension you don't know. Even though sitting inside this studio, I know that outside there is a space, but I really don't know what is happening there. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do I know now what is going on in that road in front
No.
of my house? I don't know. So something comes from there is something which is very sudden for me. Because I didn't know. If you know something and it comes, you know, you are prepared for it. So there is something which is coming from the place of unknown, creates a kind of sudden shock. So all sudden events are also associated with 8th house. Are you able to understand this? Beautiful. That's why accidents also you see from 8th house. It's unknown. It just happens. You didn't plan it.
Kind of rare diseases.
Huh?
Rare diseases also.
Yeah.
Something that is not
Quite
known.
possible. Yes.
And that these sudden events can be good ones also, right?
Good ones also. From all of a sudden, you can get some great amount of money.
Anna, intuition.
Correct. Intuition is also from 8th house, actually. You can see from 8th house intuition. Somebody whose 8th house is very strong, they'll have good intuition. Because you are tapping into something which is unknown.
So all this extrasensory perception, all that is also from this house.
You can say because your physical sense, in your physical form, that is from something which is beyond your existence. So the connection has to be built to access that. Possible, quite possible.
And the time travel.
I don't know. I have never traveled in time. So if you happen to do it, please let me know. Got it? Not that I know about death as well.
The point of reference is important here as well.
Everywhere.
For
Jyotisha is
example-
based on point of reference. Kala, Desha. Two things. The
For example,
whole Jyotisha's reference point is based on Kala and Desha, the place and time. Yeah, you're telling something.
Yeah. So, for example, when I'm doing my sadhana or kriya, I'm experiencing something which is like
Yes, you have established a connection.
about coming and going and unknown places and things like that. So those kind of experiences.
Yeah, it is because you are connecting with the space of unknown there also. See, when you sleep, you dream.
Yeah.
So your physical body is no more active, but you have now entered the realm of mind through sleep. So sleep became your Randra Bhava. That's why people who are not able to sleep, you see their eighth house will be horrible. My eighth house lord, the one who is the owner of that eighth house, is very happily sitting very powerful in fifth house. What does it mean? I'll have a very good sleep any point of time. I never had a problem with sleep. Are you able to understand this? He gives me a lot of relaxation, happiness. I'm telling you, I have fantastic ways to sleep. I'm extremely blessed by the divine for that way. I lie on bed, 2 minutes, I'm off. And then I have multiple ways of doing yoga nidra. I can do yoga nidra in 2 minutes. I'll sleep and get up in 2 minutes. A lot of my students have seen, they'll say, how did you do it? I don't know. Over a period of time, it has happened to me. 2 minutes power nap works fantastic for me. I'll be as good as new. I have 4 minutes, 10 minutes. I have multiple power naps. Power
Anna,
of
what
eighth
is
house. So it is
what is
good
the
also. See,
connection?
I'm enjoying. Huh?
Connection between eighth house and fifth house, like you said, the Lord is in fifth house.
Fifth house, I said, is for happiness. Correct. See, very logic, pa. Nothing else. It is simple logic.
Okay.
Eighth house Lord, one who owns the eighth house, is sitting in my fifth house in very good space. What does it mean? I am going to get happiness from whatever is related to eighth house.
Right.
Hey, your uncle is in Dubai. Rich uncle. He is coming to your house. He will bring gifts from that house. You are fifth house. He is eighth house. Correct? No, he brought something from there. He brought nice watch from Rolex watch from Dubai. You are happy. Unfortunately, your uncle doesn't come to fifth house. He'll come to your sixth house. Brought lot of loans to you. Problem. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how it works. See, logic. See, I'm telling you, most of the time we don't use our gray matter. You start using the gray matter, you see how immediately it will make sense. This is how I use Jyotisha. I don't have any great, these people sitting in YouTube, they say, oh, this technique, that technique, hundreds, thousands of techniques. You don't need any technique. Keep your life simple. Keep the concept simple. 1 + 1, 2. That's it. Over. It is that simple. Got it?
So the Lord is in fifth house. I mean, maximum he can be for 2.5 years. So again, now would one associate with sleep, like when the planet Graha moves?
That is all transit. We'll check when we go into that. But for me, permanently is there, no? Because I have, it's my Janmatara, means Janma chart. I was born with the tendency.
Okay.
Maybe the intensity may go up and down a little, but I'm born with the tendency.
Okay.
Right from my birth, Ambani's son is born with a tendency of having money in his account, which you don't have, I don't have. Correct, no? You may have more than me, but you may not have as much as Ambani himself. Isn't it? That is his Anant Ambani's, whatever the other person's name is, forgot. You got the idea? Next, 9th house, very, very important house. What is it called?
Bhagya.
Bhagya, very, very important. Now, there is no great translation into English from Bhagya. Bhagya is Bhagya. Oh, my Bhagya is so good. That's how I can. The usage of the word is like this. Lot of people translate it as luck. It is not luck. Luck is a very boring, I don't tell that there is any word called luck is a horrible word. You should never use it. Because there is nothing which is happening beyond divine's interference or divine's existence. So when divine is doing something, how can it be luck? It is divine's grace. So bhagya is something where you have full force of the divine. It's the divine's grace on you, the divine's power. That is bhagya. Okay?
Yeah, what if in the 9th bhava there is retrograde Rahu and 9th bhava is
I'm not reading your chat.
no. I'm trying to make sense here. Now I know the Rashi and I know the
No. We will not take up any particular thing. We'll get into that later. Otherwise, what happens? You'll lose track of the understanding.
okay.
9th bhava is for bhagya.
Okay.
And bhagya comes from also through dharma. When you are doing adharmic activities, you can't expect the divine to help you. Grace comes when you go do some puja, then divine flows. Correct? Yes or no? So all the dharmic activities also come into bhagya. That's why one of the most powerful dharmic activity is marriage. 9th house is also for marriage, according to me. There are some more astrologers like me who see 9th house for marriage. There is a big, difference of opinion. Some people take 7th house for marriage. Some people take 9th house for marriage. I am of the big for understanding that 9th house is for marriage. And many of you have come to me for consultation. And when I'm speaking about marriage, I have not gone wrong even once. So I don't have any reason to doubt my conviction.
Anna, in this day of overpopulation and in such state, like how is marriage and having kids actually a dharmic activity? Somebody who's not having kids is actually doing a dharmic.
It's not dharmic for the nation, pa. For you, it is point of reference. That's why you see, childbirth is not considered to be a dharmic activity. But doing Upanayanan for the child is a dharmic activity. Actually, childbirth, they say Sutka. There's a word, I don't know what they use, other words in other places. Sutka means you are not supposed to do anything at that particular time. It's like when somebody is dead also, there is a Sutka time where you don't do anything. When somebody's take birth also. It's there in your families. I'm pretty sure everybody's family it's there. The number of days may vary depending on the practices. But when childbirth happens, in that family, they don't do anything for 3 to 9 days, 3 days, 6 days, 9 days, 12 days. Depends on places to place. But it does happen like that. So that's why childbirth is not a dharmic activity, but When you do namakarana, it is a dharmic activity. You are giving an identity to that child. That's a dharmic activity. You are associating the child with a name. Very important.
Why it's not dharmic activity? Childbirth is. I mean, I've never thought about that. We also follow this 5 weeks of, we don't do pujas and everything, any dharmic activity, but
It's a concept we have to think about. I don't have a direct answer for it. It makes good sense for his question though. But yeah, that is when it's also the way the event has happened. The child has, the child suffers a lot inside the mother's womb. It's not an easy environment to be in. If you want to be more humorous, of all the places you ended up being in, this place came out. It cannot be any more bhagya for you. But anyway, so any kind of dharmic activity is associated with bhagya, but that is not the only definition. The definition here is what? The divine's grace. Able to understand this? Bhagya. I don't know. Again, the word itself is self-explanatory. I don't have any other word to translate it. That's why I follow a very interesting pattern. When somebody comes and asks me when you should do Upanayanam, I see ninth house. A lot of people get really, they're like, what, how, why, and all they ask. I said, yes. Ninth house has to be good. Housewarming, ninth house has to be good. You do any good activity, the divine's grace has to be very good. Then you will get very good results. Any event. Done? Next comes the three important bhavas. Now, these three, the beauty of it is.
One small doubt here. I
Yes.
just wanted to know if the blessings from the Guru and our ancestors also come under the
Yes,
Bhagya.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. You got the idea? No, that's why we say Pitrudosha. If it is coming from ninth house, horrible. Because you will not have the capability to accept the divine's grace. Pitrudosha happening in other places are somewhat okay. Happening in ninth house is very difficult to manage. So 10th, 11th and 12th are kind of connected to each other and also are connected to everything else. They're not just the 9 parts of life is over. But after that, 10th, 11 and 12 are kind of associated with everything. Because 10th is, what is the name?
karma.
Karma. That means what? Action. Karma is very simple. All it says is action. It has been maligned a lot by using it in a very negative connotation. Oh, my karma. What karma? You did an action, you are getting result. That's it. That is only your karma. Karma. Any kind of action is karma. Now I am talking, speaking. That's an action. Karma. What is the result? So whenever you do an action, there is a result. The result can be labha or the result can be vyaya. Labha is what you are getting. Vyaya is what you are spending. So in Vyavahara, business of life, whenever you do an action, for sure you will gain something and for sure you will lose something. That's how Vyavahara works. You want to buy a kg of rice. The labha is the kg of rice and the vyaya is the money you have paid. Labha is the food you are eating. Vyaya is the energy you spent to go and buy it. Getting my point? So they are connected to each other. You cannot isolate it and read it. So you can take any of these 9 and connect it to 10, 11, and 12. The action can be of the second house, that is of Dhana. Then what is the Labha and what is Vyaya? So any aspect of life you can connect. You went and did Sudarshan Kriya, the Art of Living program. So you did something for yourself, your own body. First house. Labha is what? Something upliftment of your existence. Your first house. Vyaya is what? You spent some money. You spent some dhana. Second house, you spent a little. Getting my point? I never understand this. So it's always connected. Like this, you can connect a lot. Something you are gaining, something you are losing for sure. There is nothing called only gaining. There is always something which you lose. Now, the moment I say Labha, you may think that, oh, it's very, very good house. You should always have Labha. No. Not necessary that Labha should be always good. Labha can be bad also. Young boys stand, college going boys standing in the road and then teasing all the girls, thinking that they'll get Labha of happiness. One girl comes, takes her slipper, give him a nice slap. Now Labha is the slap. Vyaya is his. Are you able to understand this? Society, everybody is watching him getting a beautiful slap. How does he feel?
Humiliated.
That is his Vyaya. Getting my point?
And instead
That's
of Labha and Vyaya, like probably cause and effect.
No,
seems
no,
to
it
be
is
more
not cause and effect. Cause and effect is you do an action, there is a result. Cause, action, and then result. Labha is what you get out of it. Vyaya is what you lose. That's it. There is no cause. See, cause and effect is a broader definition. But the activity will always have something you get, something you give. Labha is what you get and what you spend. You do see it like that. Whatever you're spending and whatever you're gaining. You're sitting in this class. Vyaya is your time. Labha is what? Jnana. Are you able to understand this?
Yes.
Now let us say I'm teaching all stupid stuff. Vyaya is what for you? Still time. Maybe, if I was charging money, then Vyaya is money also. But if I'm not giving the right knowledge, your Labha is what? Stupidity. As simple as it is. You go early morning, switch on the TV. Dina Bhavishya, one uncle with lots of malas sitting there and explaining. Today your brother is going to get married. You don't have a brother, first of all. Even if you have, he's already married. Even if he is married, he's already divorced. So, it doesn't make any sense. So Labha is what? Stupidity. Waste of time. And what Vyaya is also waste of time. You spend your time. Oh, today all Vrishtikas will have a horrible day. You will have Klesha in mind. Gone case. Whether you have a bad day or not, for sure after listening to that, you will have a bad day. are able to understand this. So Labha and Vyaya. Got it? So always these
Yeah.
three are connected to each other. The most funniest part is you go to any temple or you go start doing a homa. There is this practice which is very interesting. They say all good grahas should come and sit in the labha and give full result. They say all grahas come sit in the 11th house and give. It doesn't work like that. It may be horrible to have all the grahas in your 11th house. Huh?
Yeah, one thing. You said all the houses are good one way, right?
Yeah.
And all the grahas are also good. They have positive, objective is positive. Then how come the negative things happen?
I never said they are all good. I said neither are they good nor are they bad.
Huh,
They are
okay.
neutral.
They're neutral, right?
You just heard only good.
Okay.
So depend on
But
our
you said houses are all
their
good.
placement matters.
See, the good or bad depends on the situation and the point of reference. Again, if you see, marrying multiple people in India is bad because you'll have a case on you unless you are a politician. You may be put behind bars. But marrying multiple women in Afghanistan is legal. So for an Afghanistan man, multiple marriages is good for him. He is very happy about it. But for one of those women, it is horrible. Point of reference.
Okay.
Whose point is it Labha and Vyaya? My Labha could be your Vyaya. We both applied for a tender. Let us say we want to manufacture pots. We both apply for tender. I quote little less, you quote little more. I got the tender. What happens? Labha is for me, tender, but Vyaya is for you. There's a
So,
saying, no?
now
Go ahead.
I was asking, now every graha will have different behavior in each house,
Yes, of course.
right? So there are a lot many permutations, combinations, 12 into all.
Yes, of course. I have not brought in more, what you say, variables yet. You
This
still
will
have
come into
only
picture, right?
12 bhavas, 12 rashis and 9 grahas. You do the permutation and combination and do the
Got
maths. Yeah. But still I have not brought in more variables. There are much more variables which are to be considered.
And even in these also probably will cover in the classes due that
As much as
how the
possible, we will.
right.
I cannot cover the whole set of variables in this class, but whatever possible, I will.
Right. So we have
Anna,
just covered
what
the
Hey,
houses.
point is not that I cannot cover. Point is, can you digest it? It's like having all cuisines of India in front of you to eat in one day or one meal.
Indigestion only.
So that is what happens. Jyotisha, if you don't really take your own time to digest, indigestion will happen.
Right.
Then, now you see, when we started, there were some 70, 80, 90 people in the now there are group, there are 70, 80 people. It has come down to 25.
Right. So
Doesn't matter
can
for
we
me.
just take a
Yeah.
can we just take a reference of any graha at any house and then try to relate it just for one example if possible? If it is relevant, right time to do it.
Yeah, we can. What is there in it? Next class we will take up. You already learned a bit of it to even at least go through it. So next class we'll do it. Now it's already 9:15.
Next class only.
All my
that session.
who are assisting me will scold me. You are taking longer sessions.
Fair enough.
So point here is there are ways to see if a graha is good or bad. There are ways to see if the graha is strong enough to give results or not. Quality of the graha and quantity of the graha. How much? I would not prefer a very strong planet giving full results in a sixth house. Are able to understand this? That's a problem.
Bhaiya, 5 grahas in 12th house. Just touching
Nah,
the surface
very,
only, not getting
that's
the
not
deep.
easy. That's not easy. See, reading charts of grahas, multiple grahas in one house is a very difficult job. There is something called graha yuddha. You have to see who is winning the graha, the battle. It's not so easy as India-Pakistan war. You don't even have to analyze. But here it is a difficult job. Who is winning the war? He will take over the house. Or he. So it's a difficult one.
Anna,
But you
Times,
can.
variables, other variables.
You can. That's why we have divisional charts. Varga Chakra is there for that. Once, I don't know, have I told you this? If I don't know, if I remember this, I have told you or not. This was in the initial days of my astrology studies. At that time, I used to go, anybody sees and they say, oh, you study Jyotisha, you see, can you read? I say, yes. I was so happy because somehow I got an opportunity to read a chart. So I met one elderly person, very, very close to me. He's no more. And his son's chart they gave me. Can you read? By the way, this elderly person himself was a very good astrologer. He has written books on astrology. So I went, I saw the chart. I took some time and then I came back. I said, yeah, why not? We'll see. And using his son's chart, I was able to read the son's problems and then his own problem, that elderly person's problem. And then what happened to the elderly person's sister and sister's husband, which was a very major event in his life. When I told that, he was shocked. By the way, there are 6 grahas in his chart, that sun's chart. Very rare combination. Why? The whole example came in because of that. There are 6 grahas. So I went through the chart and I told all of this. He was shocked. He said, how did you tell this? At that time, I didn't know. It was more of a intuitive thing, I guess. Means I just followed again, same procedure. You understand the building blocks, you just keep adding them together. That's it. But it was quite a session. Means more 40, 45 minutes I spoke about it. And they were shocked. How do you know? Even most closest people don't know this. Apparently, that elderly person's sister ran away with a person who belonged to lower caste than what she was. Now, how can you go into that detail, you tell me? It is possible. In Jyotisha, it is quite possible.
So, Bhaiya, you know Rajgopal ji? He's from Hyderabad. He's living in Bangalore now. He's a Sayyam teacher.
Acha, okay. I don't.
So last year, he knows you.
Acha,
So
okay.
last
How about
year, he was on a Swami duty,
Hmm.
and he was living at our house, and we were just discussing my interests and everything. So I told him before starting this class, and he challenged me to read his chart. His chart has 7 grahas in one baba.
I'm pretty sure he is born along with the same person whom I told same year. It would have not happened so many times.
Yeah.
Uh, good. It's a challenge. It's an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
You can. Quite possible. Very heavy chart in
Yeah.
this part of life. Any questions? We'll wind up now after a couple of questions. No questions?
Anna, which software do you recommend for just like sort of practicing?
I think we have not had that session yet, no, Dinesha? Yeah, we'll have a session on that. Jagannath Hora, you can install for Windows. Jyotish app for Android, JYOTISH. There is a blue color icon with a white color flame. Jagannath Hora is by PVR Narasimha Rao, who himself is a fantastic astrologer. And he has given it for free. So there are other Jyotishya applications which cost about 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh. But this person has done a lot of service to humanity, has given a fantastic software for free. So you can install that. For studies, it's very good. But our people will let you know which version to install, because I follow a different kind of calculation than what he generally prescribes to. Surya Siddhanta and Surya Siddhanta, Ayanamsha is all the, I'll tell you later. But wait for some time, maybe in a week's time, one of the volunteers will, take a class on how to install that and explain basic of the, the software.
Okay.
Just hold on, maybe in few days we'll do that.
Jagannath Hora works for Mac.
No, for Mac, unfortunately, I don't have much to do. Actually, you can install Windows on Mac. It's a very simple process, small process. Nowadays, it's very easy. What is it called? I forgot. It just happens. It's very easy.
Crossover.
Huh?
Dual boot or cross?
Not dual boot. That's a difficult one. In Mac only you can run Windows.
Crossover and
Crossover or something. Not even crossover. There is a inbuilt, application. Huh? Not Wine. Wine doesn't run Jagannath Hora. How can I forget the name of? The other day I just did it. I just installed Windows directly. 2 minutes, within 20 minutes it got over. Everything was ready.
Oh,
Just runs
Boot
Windows
camp?
on Mac. Boot camp, yeah.
okay.
Boot camp. Boot camp nowadays they have made it very easy. You just go double click and say install Windows. It will only select which Windows, everything you select, and it will install itself. It will
Okay.
download from the website and it will do it off for you. Boot camp has become very easy.
Okay.
So for Mac people, you can do that. Next, anything else? Done?
We have 2 questions in the chat, Anna.
Acha, okay.
One is Aristana Adipati is Swasthana. Is it a good thing?
Depends on the graha whether he is happy or sad. Unless we understand that, it won't work. Next.
Can spiritual transformation also be linked to Randra Bhava?
Transformation to a certain extent. Primarily, it is more to do with 12th house. Vyaya Bhava, spiritual progress. If you take the whole physical, our existence as materialistic existence, giving up all of that is spiritual growth.
Then another question is 5th Lord and 8th, 8th Lord and 7th. That anyways will go to the next sessions.
We'll take it up in the next one. Somebody is explaining why it is Yuvati. Maybe because we got too much affection to young girl for. It's too charming. It's if you are a boy, what about for a girl? Somebody is telling Anna, it is named Yuvati, maybe because we get too much affected to a young affection, probably what he wants to say, for that first time. So that is love at first sight or whatever, infatuation at first sight, only for a boy. Anyway, done. Chalo, then we will all catch up in the next class. We'll move forward and take up a chart and read at least what we have got to know. With only that, we will read whatever is possible. Okay? Okay, then till next time. Take care.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai
Very
Gurudev.
good.
Guru.
Thank you.
Jai Gurudev, yeah.
Jai Guru.